The number of COVID-19 deaths has stretched mortuaries beyond their limits in many cities across the country. Fortunately, that's not the case here in New Mexico. News 13's Francesca Washington is here with how the governor is still making sure we are prepared. Francesca?
One local funeral director tells us they were prepared for hundreds of more COVID-19 deaths expected by this time. He says the governor's proactive tactics are the reason they're over-prepared.
Saying goodbye to a loved one is never easy. And the coronavirus outbreak has made it even harder for families to grieve.
I wanted to give her a hug. I wanted to touch her, and I couldn't do anything but sit there and tell her, I'm so sorry.
Tom Antrim, the owner of French Funeral Homes and Cremation, tells us they're live streaming and shooting cell phone videos of funeral services and burials. This one recently shot at the Santa Fe National Cemetery.
We needed to make sure that we were giving them that opportunity to say goodbye.
Planning funerals for COVID-19 victims is a challenge.
The family has likely been exposed, so we're asking them to wait for a couple of weeks if they want to come into the funeral home or if they want to view their loved one.
Of the state's 104 COVID-19 related deaths, French Funerals has handled 15.
We were anticipating and planning for the worst and hoping for the best, and we still are.
Antrim says Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham has funeral homes statewide on standby. They were planning for more than 500 deaths during the virus's peak. He says the state is monitoring funeral homes closely to make sure they don't run out of room.
So she has every funeral home across the entire state sending in a report nightly and saying how many people we have in our care that are in refrigeration, how many open spaces we have, so that she always has that count.
So far, the number of COVID deaths hasn't overwhelmed those resources like it has in other states, where bodies are being stored in refrigerated trucks or warehouses. But Antrim says for those robbed of their final goodbye.
As a society, we're going to feel the lingering impacts of grief for quite a while.
The state also brought in refrigerated trucks to help just in case, especially in rural areas where funeral homes don't have as much space to store bodies. Jess, back to you.
All right, thank you, Francesca. Antrim says most of the families he has helped cremated the bodies.